Hello, I'm Andi Singh, and I'm going to use Divinity Tarot cards to predict for you in Leo for the month of December. Okay, let me give it a quick shuffle. The first card I'm going to pull for you will have to do with your romance, marriage, and family areas. So let's see what the card says. Well, it's facing me. So, when it's facing me, it shows that you are not in full control of any of the three areas here, romance, marriage, or family areas. So watch out. You have pulled the card with the sign of Saturn in the first 15 days. I like to divide the month into two. So for the first 15 or 16 or 17 days or so, you are going to be very frustrated, either because past issues keep crossing up. And let's start with your romance area first. So frustration in romance is seen in the first 15 days. And in the last 15 days, it gets worse. So the month of December can be a month where some sort of romance situation is uncertain. The main problem here is disagreement, and that could be compatibility problems. The sign of Mercury is also shown here. So pressure which has to do with finances may overflow onto your romance areas and therefore disturb it as well. I make the last 15 days as worse off for you in your romance area, so watch out, otherwise the pressure is going to be awesome on you and make you very unhappy. Regarding marriage, again the first 15 days you come under the influence of Saturn. And because the sign of the planet, Kabbalistic tarot cards, they give the signs of planets, and I'm quite comfortable using them. And the first 15 days show delays of happiness, past problems and issues coming up to make you very unhappy. So such things are going to trouble you during the first 15 days. But there are also signs here that show support. So you'll be able to withstand any kind of frustration in the first 15 days. It is the last half of the month, 13, 14 or 15 days, where the pressure on you builds up in marriage. And this pressure can be burdens of some kind or another. For example, financial burden, burden with responsibilities of the family. So these burdens can make you very unhappy in your marriage area in the last 15 days of December. The other situation is that past problems in your marriage may now reoccur to trouble you once more. And this, of course, can bring depression as well. So watch out that the last 15 days, there's no breakup, by the way. It's just difficulties in communication and the depressive side of you, making the environment in your marriage very, very gloomy. Okay? Now, regarding general family areas for the month, burdens are seen. That's how I would translate this card. So these burdens, as I said, could be financial or could be to do with your responsibilities being taxed. So watch out of these areas. And it is the last half of the month where I see the element of stress, which is very strong for you in Leo, in your romance, marriage, and family areas. The next area I'm going to tackle is going to be your career, business, and finance areas. So let's pull a card. Here you are in control. So that's good news to start with. It means that the danger of losing all out in career, the danger of losing all out in business finances will not happen. But let's see what happens now. The card of Venus is shown here. And the card of and the sign of Mars is also shown here. That for me in career areas show a lot of differences between you and colleagues or between you and the bosses. And so the first 15 days of December, watch out that conflicts can be seen. Don't be dominating, don't be stubborn, and you'll be able to weather the storm that way. Also, now let's go for your career areas for the last 15 days of December. The first 15 days not very steady but manageable. The last 15 days are worse off. And they show that past problems can make you very unhappy. or they can show that difficulties in progress make you very desperate and frustrated, and you may want to, out of frustration, to change a job or go into new business lines or things like that. I would suggest you stay put in business areas and not take risk of any kind, because the last half of the month becomes really very difficult for you. It's better to be with the devil you know in business rather than to venture out for the month of December to look for new problems or new types of unknown areas in business. So in business, the first half of the month already showing difficulties for progress, and the second half can show in business suffering losses. Otherwise, why should the cards show depression? The cards also show that the competition against you is going to be very strong for the month of December. So in business areas, you are going to find it difficult enough to keep your head above water, especially the last 15 days of December or so. Overall, finances show here obstacles, struggle, and difficulties in progress are shown for you. Although the first 10 days or so seem to be highlighting some kind of progress, but I would ask you to remain cautious. In general financial areas, as I said, the month ends on a very depressive note for you. So I would rather you don't spend money lavishly in the month of December for you in Leo. Just tighten your belt, okay? The last card I'm going to pull for you will be for your health areas, for you in Leo. Now, this is a card that shows you have no control over your eating and drinking habits in the month of December, and therefore you can produce a lot of chronic problems if you're not careful of drinking too much or eating too much. You need to work out as well. This card also shows you are submerged in problems, and therefore stress and anxiety can trouble you very much. Normally for you in Leo, distress and anxiety will produce allergies of one kind or another. So be prepared to tackle these allergies. There's some difficulty to your eyes, the card shows. So if you have any kind of symptom of eye conjunctivitis or inflammation, go straight to see an eye specialist to cover you. Lastly, this card also shows breathing problems. And since you are submerged in water, I worry about water in the lungs, which can be a worsening bronchitis and moving on to pneumonia. And this, my worry, would be more in the last half of December. Well, that's what I can tell you, people in Leo, about your areas of life for the month of December. Do go to Facebook and follow me, and you'll be able to communicate with me and ask me any questions you want. Until then, thank you and goodbye.